Hello, human peoples. You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. To support us and gain access to great exclusive podcasts like Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and our latest show, Spiel Boys, head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We do game streaming, movie nights with our patrons every Friday night, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want. Literally anything, within reason, and we have to do it. You are quite frankly out of excuses not to go visit patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hypecast mit Tom Reimann und David Bell.
Ray Liotta died.
Yeah.
That sucks. I didn't think he was going to die. Ever.
Wait, did we really start the podcast with this? Hold on.
I mean, we don't have to.
We don't have to. I can start it at any time.
That's sad, right? It's worth talking about.
I just like to know
Ray
where I'm
Liotta.
at, what's going on. You know? It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Sorry,
I too was convinced that Ray Liotta would never die.
I thought he died. I thought I died before him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One look at the pistol whipping scene in Goodfellas. I'm like, well, he's going to outlive me and everyone I know.
Yeah. In fact, it feels like he was going to be the person to kill me.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
And he'd do that crazy laugh during the killing. The crazy laugh
absolutely.
from Goodfellas.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Now he's doing that laugh with the angels now. He's creeping out God.
He's pistol whipping the angels. Oh, man.
What if, when an angel tries to do that laugh, it's too beautiful and it can't, so you just get singing? You know? I can't make that noise. I'm an angel. Shoot.
Yeah. And now they have Ray Liotta finally to do it for them. This is...
to teach subsequent choirs of angels how to do the Goodfellas laugh.
Yeah.
This elaborate afterlife mythology we've built around Ray Liotta is really appealing.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Well, episode of Hypecast.
Hypecast.
It is the show where we get hyped about stuff and things. I'm your co-host, Tom Ryman.
I am your other co-host, David Bell.
And hey, it's me, Alex Schmidt. It's great to be
Hey,
here.
Alex!
Yeah.
Alex,
Welcome.
from the future, you're joining us.
Oh, yeah. You're in the future.
You're several hours in the future, and I've got to ask, Alex,
Right.
how are things there?
Similar. They're pretty
Similar.
but you can get a New York slice. So that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
So we're going to be okay.
Yeah. Alex, how are you? How's your day going?
It's fine. I was thinking I might be the first Hypecast guest since you guys hit that 10,000 benchmark thing. And congratulations. That's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sure
We
everybody
just-
listening knows and is thrilled. But it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's the best thing.
Oh, thank
It
you so
is.
much,
I'm
man.
happy.
Yeah,
We
I
just-
think
we
you are
just,
the first guest, yeah.
Yeah, we did just dip under it again. That's how Patreon goes.
Yeah.
Sure.
We're floating around it, which is nice. It is wonderful. It's
We're circling it like a shark.
yeah. Thank you all. Alex, I was just listening to your latest podcast about menstrual pads.
Oh, thanks.
That's very, very good. Very good stuff.
Oh, yeah, I haven't listened to the episode yet. I did just learn doing a weird history episode that it was... Oh, shit. They were like an accidental invention that came out of World War I believe.
Yeah,
Really?
the modern kind, the good kind. Yeah. And that whole topic, it was a suggested topic, and I'm really glad they suggested it because I never would have thought to do it. And then I learned a lot. I sat down and realized I know very little about what ladies do for their periods in general because I've just been socialized that way. And yeah, you can just go learn that. Everyone should have to make an entire podcast about it and then learn it. You know,
Yeah.
it's good.
Absolutely. No, it's Yeah, it's kind of a important subject to cover in a podcast. This is, by the way, secretly incredibly fascinating.
Yeah, you know what? Go ahead and do your plug now, Alex. Go ahead and do it now.
Oh,
I appreciate
I
this.
figured we'd plug it because we're talking about it.
Yeah. No, but I, some of our friends have been doing the plugs at the beginning, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. So yeah,
right.
Listen to Alex's show; it's incredibly fascinating.
Yeah, each one's about a topic that people think is like ordinary or boring, or else they've just never thought about it much. And so that was a perfect one for, I think, especially people who identify as male, such as myself. Because we're, at least in the U.S., I was just never like walked through menstrual pads. It was just like, that's for ladies. You'll never need to know or have women in your life or anything.
There is it's little boys. I don't know what the experience is for girls growing up, obviously, but for boys, it was like they shielded anything to do with girls' puberty or anything like that. Even when I up into a teenager doing like sex ed and health, family life, and in high school. They shielded us from that like they were crime scene photos. Like they didn't want us to know anything about it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like we're so weirdly puritanical about it.
Yeah. I had a fairly like a co-ed and a fairly progressive sex ed in elementary school in like 6th grade. And they still teach us shit about menstrual pads. Like they taught us about, menstruation and all that, but they like the actual like devices needed I still was unclear about. And so it's weird how even in a more liberal situation they still shied away from it. It's weird.
And it's so normal. It's so like everything's normal, but it's such a just basic functional tool that approximately half the population uses, and the rest of us and approximately the other half were like just expected to miss it, like you won't need to know. You won't meet a woman or anything. It's cool. It's fine.
Right.
And then some of those people grow up and become lawmakers.
Yeah.
It's true.
Anyway.
Menstrual cast. No, we talk about movies here usually.
Yeah, usually.
So
it's been a weird week.
What? I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I thought this was Pat's part 2. Hold on.
I'm sorry.
Padcast.
Padcast.
I can't believe I didn't call it that.
It was right there. It was right there. Yeah. No. Yeah. We could have segued from our Patreon hitting that subscriber count to thanking our producers, but we didn't. We went down the avenue of menstrual pads.
We're playing 4-dimensional chess.
Yeah.
Nay, I think we've discovered the 5th dimension.
Yeah. But before we get to the latest trailers, and boy, there are a lot. I kept emailing you guys because they wouldn't stop.
You son of a bitch. Yeah, no, because Disney had one of their celebration events today, so they were just fucking creaming out trailers.
Oh. Right. So I just kept getting them and being like, oh, for fuck's sake, and adding them. But yeah, we have some producers to thank first, so I'll start us off.
Do it.
Big thank you to Hombre. Thank you to Heathcliff's Helping Handfuls.
Thank you.
Thank you to the conveniently placed self-destruct button on the top of every baby's head.
Thank you.
Thank you to Left.
Thanks so much.
Thank you to Samuel Beckett's Donuts and Mortgage Emporium. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to Ryan, the Silly Money Goose.
Honk honk.
Thank you to Snapper Carr, punches God in the dick.
He sure does.
Thank you to @NerdNumbers. Thank you to Mike the Lurker.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to DJ Finney.
Thank you.
Thank you to Dracula, the bus driving vampire.
Toot toot.
Thank you to Brockway Loves the Meat Millie.
He sure does.
And thank you to David Knife Boot Henson. Thank you.
All right, let me swoop in here and take over. Thank you to Grubblebee. Thank you to Screaming Arse Pyramid. Thank you to Look Bomb on a podcast. Thank you to Seismic Charge Noise. Thank you to Deborah's Awesome, Barbara's Great, and Cancer Can Go to Hell.
Thank you.
Thank you to Numino Ultra Microscopic Silico Volcanoconiosis Anti-Disestablishmentarianism Jones.
Thank you.
Thank you to the baby from Eraserhead.
Thank you.
To Chiz Lily Tits.
Thank you.
Thank you to these 7 Bs. So many Bs. I never noticed. Until today. And Dave, that will come back later. Thank you to Breezy Ruizy.
Thank you.
Thank you to Davey Francis 9. Davey goes to hell.
Thank you.
Make it MVB.
Thank you very much. Whew.
What
All
a
right.
lineup.
I know. It's real murderer's row.
Yeah.
We got a deep
So many
bench.
winners in here. Yeah.
Yeah. So our first trailer is for Andor,
Yes.
which I thought was like a planet, and then I realized, it's the character
You're close.
from Rogue
Andor,
One.
the forest moon of Andor.
That's probably what did it.
yeah.
I did the same thing, and also for some reason, our minds hang on to information in a sort of random way sometimes. And I was like, was Endora the mom on Bewitched? And she was. I don't know why I remembered
she
that.
was, yeah.
I should remember anything else. Yeah.
I love it when that happens, where it's you retained information in your life that you have no business retaining. It's just there in your brain.
Yeah, I don't want it. Yeah.
Yeah. It wants you though. It'll always stay there.
Mm-hmm.
This is I wrote in our notes that this feels like it was pitched as Game of Thrones for Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys get that vibe at least from the trailer?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Which I don't. Yeah, I don't hate that idea.
No, actually, I was going to say this is a spin-off of Rogue One. I've still never seen Rogue One, but this is the show's going to focus on Diego Luna's character from that movie. This trailer looks pretty good. Like, to me, this is the most interested I've been in a Star Wars thing since the initial announcement of Mandalorian. Like this, even though this is like a prequel spin-off, so it's going to fall into the similar categories of like Obi-Wan and what like the second season of Mandalorian was doing, and Boba Fett, where it's a lot of like member berries of previous Star Wars stuff. But like this is covering a period of like in between the prequels and the original trilogy that I think is really interesting to explore, and it's exploring like it's around Diego Luna's character, but he's barely in the trailer. It's focusing on all these other people that are just like normal people as the Empire's rising to power and starting to like crush the rest of the galaxy under its boot heel. Like this looks really interesting, and it's just like a story we haven't really seen in Star Wars yet. And so like honestly like pretty on board for what this at least what this trailer is representing the show as, for sure.
Yeah, I think the fact that it's so distant from the Skywalkers helps. It also occurs to me, I had a conversation with Cody about this, where like things they could have done with the new movies that they didn't. And one of the things that Lucas did in the prequels, I would say poorly, and in fact he is mocked for it often, is the fact that the prequels are like bogged down with like trade negotiations and stuff. And it like can't decide if it's for kids or if it wants to do these long Senate scenes.
They're really over dense with plot. Yeah.
Right. But what he could have done with the prequels, and I would again, maybe he was trying to, is show like a slow slide into fascism, right? Into like, how did it come to this?
Yeah.
And this feels like it's kind of political too, but in a better way, where like they could have done that with the new Star Wars, where they could have done like the reason why they for some reason haven't heard of these heroes anymore is that they're like, there's like a huge propaganda campaign. Like if you'd started the characters like in almost a dystopian bubble, having learned very little, like they could have done something like that with the new ones. And it feels like they could do something like that with this, which is like,
oh yeah.
It feels like this is like people who are like directly dealing with the Empire and like having to like live under their watch. And I think that's a really good aspect to cover with Star Wars, right? If that is what this is. I don't know.
I agree. Yeah, it seems like a really cool way to go, especially if this is a whole TV show where they can go, because maybe that's a limit on Lucas with the prequels. Like he had, I don't know, 6-7 hours, but he didn't have a whole show to just keep going and going and going about day-to-day life and little politics and stuff. Like, that seems like an opportunity. It could be good in the ways that a lot of the extended universe stuff was good back in the day.
Yeah. Exactly. Just get away from the goddamn Skywalkers. It's all I want.
Yeah.
Please. There
There's
are other
apparently-
stories to tell. Yeah.
Yeah. What's interesting that people have commented on, because there's now news that there's a show called Star Wars Skeleton Crew. I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
but
neither
I
do
guess Jon Favreau's involved, and they just announced that Jude Law is joining the cast.
Okay. He could play a skeleton. I can see it.
Yeah.
He's very skeletal. He looks like his skeletal's about to burst out of his face at any minute.
Yeah. And he's like a sexy skeleton.
He's a powerfully sexy skeleton. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot skull.
Yeah, he's a very runny skeleton, like he oozes, but in a sexual way.
Right.
Like wax,
I guess,
like wax. I think,
Yeah.
All right. I got there.
A waxy skeleton.
A waxy skeleton.
Yeah. So I just looking up the plot, it'll focus on a group of kids around 10 years old from a tiny little planet who get lost in the Star Wars galaxy. Sure. They said it's not necessarily for kids.
Is that the John Watts
This is
one?
Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're saying it's not necessarily for kids, so it could be like an Adventure Kids type thing, like Goonies in space. What I was getting at is they don't mention any movies. There's no like.
It's all shows. Yeah.
It's all shows.
Yeah,
so
it's all
Star
shows.
Wars is just a TV show now, which is so weird.
It is. Yeah. But seriously, it's after Solo didn't do the numbers they wanted them to do, and Rise of Skywalker shat the bed as well. They're really, and Mandalorian is what's taking off, so they really are just shifting everything to Disney Plus shows right now.
Yeah.
I can see. Here's something I wanted to point out.
Yeah.
If it's they're doing this is what I hope for, because Star Wars Skeleton Crew starring Jude Law and a bunch of kids, and they're like it's a kid show, but it's not it stars a bunch of kids, but it's not necessarily a kid show, and it's the one that's being created by John Watts, who did all the Spider-Man movies, all the new Spider-Man movies, but he also did Cop Car, which also stars two kids, but it's not a kids movie.
Right.
So I'm hoping this is like the Cop Car of the Star Wars universe.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, when you said 10-year-olds lost in a Star Wars universe, my first immediate thought was really dark. It was like, oh, the kids are going to die. Like, that doesn't sound like a fun thing to watch at all. But maybe they have an angle at it. It's really dangerous for kids. It's bad.
See how many things try to eat Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon the first 7 minutes they're on Naboo?
Just look at Anakin Skywalker's early life. The fucking pod racing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They all get abducted and enslaved by Watto in the first 10 minutes.
Oh no. I want a Watto show. Everybody wants a Watto show.
Yeah.
That's the show with the Ray Liotta Goodfellas laugh. That's where you get it.
You're right.
There you go.
Fuck, we could have had Ray Liotta should have played Watto.
Yeah, made no attempt to change his voice.
Nope, no CGI either.
No, I can't. It's
just Ray Liotta in a leather jacket. Oh my god!
Can you imagine? Can you imagine the scene where he's like, "Credits are not good out here. I need something more real." And then Qui-Gon goes like, "Credits will be fine," and Ray Liotta just staring at him dead ass like, "Yeah, what are you doing? No. I said I need real money. You piece of shit. What are you waving your hands at?"
Whips him with a blaster. Oh my god! Why didn't they do that? Yeah.
You fucking Jedi! Your Jedi mind tricks don't work on me! Stomping him out.
That's so perfect.
Yeah.
But
Obi-Wan just
Andor.
uncomfortably looking around to see if anybody's going to do anything about this.
Yeah.
Actually, no, wait. Obi-Wan wasn't even there. Qui-Gon would be on his own. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watto's gonna. The next scene is like Watto having Anakin go out into the desert and dig a hole.
Yeah. Hard cut to Qui-Gon's funeral scene at the end. Amazing. They're like, was it a Sith? And they're like, no, it's just some guy pistol whipped him in the desert. Fucking Ray Liotta. Ray Liotta sounds like a George Lucas character.
Yeah, honestly.
Change
nothing. No CGI whatsoever, but do give him the two tiny little wings.
Yeah. Full of ideas.
Oh, damn it.
Any other thoughts about Andor?
No, just that I miss Ray Liotta.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Listen.
that's about it. It looks like a cool show.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does. It honestly really does. Like, the trailer was very effective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This looks good. Speaking of, I don't know, trailers from Lucas, Willow, the TV series.
Yeah.
First trailer from Jonathan Kasdan, the
Son of Lawrence.
writer of Dawson's Creek.
Is he related
And
to
Freaks and
Lawrence
Greek
Kasdan? Does everyone know this? I don't know.
He is Lawrence Kasdan's son, yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he is. And I'm looking on his Wikipedia. So they're all right. That's fair.
It's like how Skywalkers always pop up, but with real life. Like it has to involve
exactly.
them. Yeah.
He also apparently wrote. Jonathan Kasdan wrote Solo. He wrote this, and he wrote the next Indiana Jones, which they just put out that production still for.
Yep.
So that's interesting. And yeah, this is with Warwick Davis. The
Man,
Willow's back.
If I could do it all again, going back, I would have probably tried harder to be Lawrence Kasdan's son.
Yeah.
It seems to be working out really well for him. Sorry.
Yeah.
What is our relationship to Willow?
I love Willow, so I'm
Nice.
unreasonably excited for this. When the score, the original score hit, I was like, "Grr!" And when you see Joanne Whalley in the movie, I was like, "Grr!"
Yep.
And you see
I've
some
never
of
seen
Willow's
it.
old friends in there, I was like, "Grr!" It's quite good, quite good, Alex. I think you'd
That's
be
cool.
into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was the story of it was Lucas wanted to make Lord of the Rings but couldn't get the rights.
Oh.
So he made
Does it feel distinct and separate enough from that?
Oh, very much, yeah.
Okay.
It's really only similar in that it's a fantasy movie where the main character is a little person.
Yeah.
That's kind of where the similarities end.
Yeah, Val Kilmer, you could argue, is like the Aragorn, like, but not really either.
Yeah, not really.
Okay.
He's like a Han Solo more than Aragorn.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for this. Apparently, John M. Chu is directed the pilot episode. That's the director of G.I. Joe Retaliation
Sure.
and other things. Now You See Me, Now You See Me 2. And Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah,
so he's done good things too. He's done good things as well.
When this trailer, it appeared to be a sequel to the previous. Like, I've heard of Willow, and they were talking about the characters kept talking about like the return of characters. It seemed like they're building on the original. I don't really know.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. This is definitely like a continuation of it.
I appreciate that because, Willow didn't do well, and there's this nostalgia for it, but it's a limited nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate that they're like, fuck it. It's for the fans.
I mean, honestly, they're not making Willow for a new generation of fans.
No, but they could have tried. They seriously, I could see them trying something like that.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of that.
Yeah.
There's a new cast of young characters in this.
Yeah.
I kind of not that I have seen Willow, but I like that it's not a prequel. I like that it's like time is moving forward with this. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
I also enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also like remembering how young Warwick Davis is, because it's that thing where he was like practically a child when he filmed Willow.
Yeah, I think he was a teenager in Return of the Jedi.
Right. So he always feels like he should be older, but he's only like 50.
Yeah.
Just based off his credits.
Yeah, it's like Nicolas
52,
Cage
wow.
is the same thing.
Yeah.
It's been in movies for 40 years, but started as a teenager, so not as old as you expect him to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Plus, the ship from his home planet, there was probably some relativity stuff, that alters
for
how
sure.
old or young he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 7 years here is like a year in Nicolas Cage time in general.
And then you got to float through a bookcase and haunt your daughter. It's a whole thing.
But yeah, I want this to. I think this will be good, but I also want it to succeed. I don't know. I'm rooting for Willow because Willow feels like a real underdog. Series.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. So let's get more Willow. Let's get a whole Willow universe going.
Oh, please, can we?
Yeah.
This Nintendo game was so hard, but
really?
played it over and over again anyway. Yeah, it was basically a Zelda clone.
Okay.
It's like a top-down RPG.
Yeah, the guy who like wrote the first Zelda game was influenced by the books of Lord of the Rings, so that all lines up. It's cool.
Okay. Yeah, that checks out. So yeah,
that's
Willow.
Acceptable.
Well, the next trailer. God damn, we have so many headliners here.
I know.
Jesus Christ! The next trailer is for Thor: Love and Thunder, starring Christian Bale as Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
It's
it really is just Marilyn Manson from the Beautiful People video.
Yeah. Apparently, he's like that character in the comic is like a fucking ghoul, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he's like
Gore the God Killer, I think is what he's called.
Yeah. So they
anyway,
why would that guy be
changed his
unfriendly?
look.
Doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
Nah, honestly, sounds like he likes to party. Look at him, spidering through this trailer.
He really is.
That's really like we don't have to spend too much time on it, I suppose, because we've already covered I think 2 or 3 of these trailers. This is just
probably
like the first one that's showing Christian Bale and also giving us a little bit more info about like how Jane Foster is suddenly Thor. It's really just like I don't know, more of the same trailer we've seen. I mean, I'm still hooked. I still definitely want to see this movie. Oh, we get to see Russell Crowe for the first time in this too.
Yeah, is he Zeus or something? I was curious about his toga.
He is Zeus. Yeah.
So we're just doing all the gods of some ancient peoples. Cool. I'm into it. Yeah.
Yeah. No. I expect
and
that's probably how Christian Bale's character will figure into it because this whole thing is I'm gonna kill me some gods.
Right.
Wow.
We're gonna get the multiverse of gods.
He's gonna Kratos his way through this thing.
Yeah. I noticed that with Thanos as well, as I realized like he's just doing a Kratos adventure. Like if we were playing a God of War, we'd be rooting for Thanos.
You'd be playing as Thanos.
You'd be playing as Thanos. Yeah. And then same feeling with Christian Bale in this. I don't know, Alex. You have any thoughts on this? Like we've talked about it plenty, but you might not have. So
I feel like I like the Thor movies more than most other people. I think they're awesome. The 3 of them. Like the second one is just okay, and then the first and third rule. They're both really fun, really great. They're like a Superman movie in a good way and in an upbeat way that Superman movies are not. So I'm really down for this in general. It looks awesome.
I agree. I feel the same way. I really liked that first one. Second one was just kind of fine, and the third one is awesome. The first is definitely they leaned on humor more than I think people remember because I rewatched it recently. It's and pretty funny.
They Crocodile Dundee his ass, and it's fun.
Oh, it's true.
What else would you do? It's like the that's funny as shit. Get like actual Thor, but make him hang out in New Mexico in modern times. It's funny as hell.
Yeah. He should have gone to the big city as well. But what are you gonna do? Mm-hmm. And then of course Taika taking over and killing it. So this is pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's smart to make Christian Bale this villain. I feel like there's always with Marvel, right? Like I assume they reach out to these actors, and like I know that what's his name who plays Loki?
Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, no. Sorry, I'm thinking of Benedict Cumberbatch was originally offered the villain in Thor 2, I believe. Oh. And he was like, nah, I'm holding out. So I feel like they have this system where it's like, okay, hey, really good actor. Do you want a lot of money or do you want do you want just like a small amount of money and be in one film? You want to be a villain or you want to be a hero for some of these? So Christian Bale, it's like, it was a matter of time before they grabbed him, right?
Yeah, I guess from
so.
what my understanding is like he was one of the big like gets, I guess, for a while. Like so there's like so, people like him, like obviously like a Will Smith, Tom Cruise, and like Nicolas Cage. Like I think those are all like names that I've heard thrown around of people that they're like really trying to get to be in the MCU. Oh,
I'm sure.
And Keanu Reeves, of course.
Right. And I feel like they're like, anytime, man. If you're ever interested, I
think what did it for Christian Bale is everybody wants to work with Taika Waititi right now.
Right. And so that's what I was going to get to. The only thing I'm frustrated about is I hope he works with him again in a comedic role. Because I don't think Christian Bale's a very funny guy. I just don't. Like, he's a good actor, so he can be funny, but you know what I mean? Is like, he doesn't strike me as a guy who's naturally
with, like, comedic instincts.
Yeah, exactly. But like, he's funny in American Psycho. He can be funny. He can be
somebody
silly.
Writes it. Yeah, he can.
Right, and so I just imagine fucking Taika doing a fucking kind of like Carl Urban was in the Thor before this.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, or Star Trek, yeah. Where it's another guy who it's like, I don't know what their sense of humor is, but they can do comedy when the right person kind of gives them stuff to do. So I don't know. I want to see that pairing, and it looks like he's just playing a very serious villain in this. I feel like he's playing like generic Marvel villain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Well, I guess we'll have to see more of it. It's because that was like a similar thing with like Angelina Jolie was a big get for them, and she's playing this extremely supporting character in the Eternals. So
I feel like for some of them they're just like, I want a new vacation house. Yeah,
that could be like Frances McDormand in Transformers 3.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I feel like Marvel villains tend to have this problem sometimes, where they feel interchangeable.
Yeah.
And they're just like generic, serious person.
They're real modular a lot of the time.
Yeah.
You can just kind of swap any of them out.
And I feel like it's often a waste of that particular actor, compared to, characters like Loki, where they give them a lot to do. And that's probably, I feel like it might have something to do with the actors too and the deals they make with them. But again, we haven't seen the movie, so maybe he's a delight. Maybe he's the next. Maybe he's the next Thanos.
Yeah.
So
he's going to be on all the Hot Topic teas.
Next trailer. My God.
I know we're fucking 3 trailers in. We got it.
Yeah.
There's so many.
Impossible. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Oof.
Yeah, man.
Is this the same director as always?
Yeah.
McQuarrie?
This is McQuarrie, I believe, yeah.
What do you guys think?
Well, I love the James Bond films, and probably not even for good reasons. I just they were a building block of my childhood. And Mission Impossible movies are like they're like in between movies for me. Like while I'm awaiting new James Bonds, I consume Mission Impossible, and they're totally fine, But this one, the latest couple James Bond movies were all, to me, too serious and too narratively interconnected with each other, and it looks like this movie called Dead Reckoning Part 1 is like copying that in a detrimental way. I don't think it's going to be very good.
Yeah. So I agree with you.
Interesting.
I think so. Christopher McQuarrie, he's great. He wrote Usual Suspects. He's obviously very, very talented. I've said this before, is the Mission Impossibles, I would argue, got less interesting when they just stuck to the same director, much like the Harry Potters did with what's his name, where it's
David Yates. Yeah.
David Yates, who again, good director, nothing against him.
Yeah.
But there was something cool when they were like switching directors and picking really interesting people. And now they just sort of settled on McQuarrie and they're like, you forever now. And it's like, I don't know, do some fun shit. I will say that I'm pretty sure this is the last 2, right?
Yeah, probably.
It's gotta be, right? Like,
Tom Cruise
is mortal, It's gotta be.
He is gonna be 60 this summer.
Right. They're bringing back Kittredge.
They sure are. He's all over this trailer.
I would also argue a lot of the imagery from this is from the original, the first film.
The train.
So,
yeah.
So they're clearly aware. They're clearly like making, I don't know, little homages to the first film, which is so different. So different in tone than these are.
Yeah. And I think it might be like that latest Bond thing where they're like, can you believe Blofeld's back? But it's in this package that is such a different vibe and tone from Blofeld, who was like kind of funny. And, it was a totally different thing way back when. And I don't need them to like name check people from the totally different style several movies ago. It doesn't help me that much.
Yeah. I think the stunts are always amazing in Bond and this. There's always a lot of memorable moments, and Bond especially has some amazing cinematography. But they start to bleed together, I think, this new era for me. Where, like, I can't remember which movie is which, because they're sticking with the same directors and everything looks a little samey. I just start forgetting like which movie is which, and the story I couldn't possibly keep track of, right?
Oh yeah, I don't know. These are movies that I love. These movies, I go to see them. I have a great time. I never think about them again.
Yeah, same here. That's exactly the same. But I guess what I'm saying is,
I'm like, I can't wait to see Daniel Craig do some stuff. Like it's fine, but it's cool. Yeah.
I guess what I'm saying is for Mission Impossible specifically, it wasn't always like that. I thought like the first 3 or 4 were films that stuck with me and that they felt very different because they were very different.
Yeah.
Whereas the rest of them are all like just one big movie that exactly what you say, Tom. I enjoy the shit out of them. And then I forget them forever. Carrie Elways is in this one. Is he the villain?
Probably.
Yeah.
Or a villain. I remember, I think, okay, no, that's vice versa, I think. I'm getting my movies mixed up now. I think Nicholas Hoult was supposed to be the villain in either, I think it's Mission Impossible.
Right.
But had to back out for some reason. I think now I can't even remember. So scratch what I said.
Right. And the big stunt they're advertising for now is that Tom Cruise clearly did himself, which is the base jumping and the motorcycle.
Oh, the motorcycle, yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to imagine that how they were talking about how he's going to go to space. How is that not for one of these? Like that's so weird that they might do a scene with Tom Cruise
Jerry
in
Maguire
space.
Too. Jerry Maguire too.
Yeah.
Oh
my God, it better be. Holy shit. Oh my God. Sorry, that would be great. Just him doing a spacewalk, screaming, "Show me the money."
Yeah, like an Arizona Cardinals wide receiver. Yeah.
Yeah. Jerry Maguire goes to space. But yeah, I don't know. It feels like we're all kind of on the same page with this one.
Yeah. I don't have anything
it's going to be like well
movies.
crafted and impressive, but it comes out in apparently July of 2023, and I'm not going to think about it between now and then. Like,
no,
it'll come, and that's fine. It's cool.
Yeah. Well, on the same subject of like action, I guess, The Gray Man with Lil Gosling
and Chris Evans' mustache.
Yep.
That his mustache is the most notable thing about this trailer to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They even mention it. Yeah. This is the Russo brothers.
Yeah. And I liked their. I liked the one they produced, the one with Chris Hemsworth, and I can't even remember what it's called now.
Extraction?
Extraction, yeah, there you go. I liked that one. This one looks worse than that movie. Like, it looks...
if you recall, Extraction had stunts.
Yeah, because it's directed by a stunt coordinator, I believe.
Yeah.
This movie is... It looks very... This movie looks like Diet Marvel. It's basically Marvel without any of the things that make Marvel interesting, which is the characters we all like.
Yeah, it reminds me of Infinite, where Infinite is a film that did a bunch of CGI stunts. And remember that like Tony Stark drone scene in Infinite?
Yeah.
Where it was like, oh, you're trying to be a Marvel film, but you're not superheroes, so it just feels... I've said it before. I think when we look back at old 80s movies and there's always like something that's really cheesy to us, or the 90s, the way the 90s treated VR, you know? I think that Marvel look, that like Tony Stark computer stuff is going to be seen the same way. I think I think it works in Marvel, but I think there's a lot of instincts like CGI, like car stunts that are in this, or like I marked it at like 107. There's a wire stunt where a guy jumps onto the top of a car and it looks like he's flying. They make him jump this impossible jump. That's the sort of stuff that like I think we're gonna laugh at in the future. I just think that style it works in Marvel and then it's bleeding out, and like this movie looked interesting in terms of the characters, but like the stunts I thought looked terrible, is I guess what I'm saying.
Yeah, it looks cartoonish in a way that doesn't help when it's not superheroes, for sure.
Yeah, when it's just people.
Alex, you were going to say?
Oh, no, I agree with that. And also, whatever the plot is, I could kind of follow what was happening. There was some kind of bounty hunter, some agent trying to kill another agent thing, but it wasn't distinctive enough to take my head out of, oh, it's Chris Evans, it's probably a superhero movie, you know? Like just as a human animal watching a trailer. I was like, is this more Captain America or something, even with the mustache? Okay, cool.
Right. I will say that, like, despite all that, like, there are old cheesy 90s and 80s movies I love, and this has fucking Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans, who should do a Face Off remake. But like,
oh, that'd be great.
Like, yeah, like if their chemistry is there, you know, maybe people will really enjoy it, you know. But as an action film, which is what this advertises more than the story, like the action that they're showing off, I'm just like, that is, congratulations on doing that thing in a computer, you know, like what an impressive thing you did. It's just like, yeah,
now I'm thinking when we were talking about Star Wars, we were saying like, oh, it'd be interesting if they did some like slow alien diplomacy for a while. Like they don't really do those stories much. Like if this is going to be agents chasing agents, I want like some cat and mouse and human activities. I don't necessarily need everyone to be physically superhuman and exploding,
right?
You know, like how does the one gray man catch the other gray man, whatever those are, you know? Tell me.
Yeah. Yeah, what is his name? Gray? What is that?
They're like
What's
part
going
of
on
the
there?
same team of assassins that are called Gray Men, I think.
Okay.
Chris Evans has been dispatched to hunt down Ryan Gosling for betraying the organization, although Chris Evans is clearly the villain, and Ryan Gosling is like, I don't know, trying to expose some sort of injustice or the inner machinations of this system of power, I guess. I don't know. It's very...
Okay.
You know,
It's fine. That's all fine.
yeah,
it's
like the
Again.
1995 Sylvester Stallone Antonio Banderas film Assassins.
right.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Which
yeah.
is the like, so like
They should
if
do a
you're gonna
Face Off
do-
remake, right?
Yeah,
Sylvester
they
and
should.
Antonio.
Oh my God! Who could? Yeah, you would. Their bodies are exactly the same. It would. But like, I guess like there's a scene where he drops a grenade in this trailer, and if you watch the part where it jumps out the window, it's just so obviously CGI smoke and explosion coming out. It's stuff like that where it's like, I'm not advocating for endangering stunt people, but like if you don't have much of a plot, then the reason people are watching your action film is for the action. And if your action, like if you can't even do, like there's a scene later where a car rams into another car and the car flips, and it again looks so obviously like CGI. And it's like, people do that for movies all the time. Just do it for real. You're making an action movie. That just, I don't know. It's the only thing that appeals to me in this trailer are the two lead actors. And they don't show them that much.
Yeah,
But we'll see.
yeah. I mean, it'll be on Netflix.
Yeah.
They are just I can't. Imagine how much money they've spent. I think this is the most expensive project in Netflix history, I believe.
Until the next one, but yeah, right. I'm sure. Yeah, which makes sense. It's the Russo brothers. They're, they did Extraction, which I'm sure did really well. I prefer the action in this next trailer, even if this next trailer doesn't look like a good movie.
It's a show. It's a show, Dave. We got a piping hot series coming up.
Oh my God, I'm never gonna watch. It's the Terminal List.
Yeah, it's Chris Pratt playing a seal, a Navy SEAL, not the animal.
Yeah,
it could have been a seal. Alex, you pointed out something about this that's worth noting.
Yeah, so I had never heard of this property, but apparently it's based on a book, and I started Googling it. because the trailer seemed really gross to me. Like, it seems like the plot is taking a veteran who has PTSD and then grafting some kind of QAnon-y stuff on it. Like saying, oh, he sees through the conspiracy in the government and everybody else is conspirator. And then Googling the book, it seems like it's conservative stuff. Like, there's a review I found where they do a bunch of excerpts of it, and one of the excerpts is, like, complaining that an admiral is too woke, because they're trying to get promoted by diversifying the SEAL teams and putting ladies on them.
By having women on the Navy SEALs.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and list...
The audacity!
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead
Pratt
and...
seems to be a conservative, and so it would all line up, I don't know.
Yeah, so the writer of the book, Jack Carr, has appeared in several shows, according to IMDb. I'm going to list them.
Oh.
The Joe Rogan Experience, 3 episodes. The Rubin Report, 2 episodes.
Oh, no.
Tucker Carlson Tonight, 1, 2, 3, 5 episodes.
Okay, yeah.
Fox News Primetime, Fox and Friends, and so on. So, yeah. Oh, the Adam Carolla Show. Yeah.
That's still kind of yeah.
It is that. This seems like a... nothing...
It's just really messed up to me. Like, I'm legitimately upset about the plot that this thing is going to have. It's really, like, as I understand it, it's like a SEAL comes back from fighting, has what feels like PTSD, and then it seems like they're going to credulously do a plot where he can see through a conspiracy to the highest levels of a Democratic Party-ish U.S. government. Yeah. Right?
Like, it's going to be a Benghazi thing.
Like,
that's the thing is, there's... All right. I have no problem with conservatives making art, right?
Yeah.
And even making art that is, has a conservative message. That's their fucking right.
Yeah.
But this does feel gross in what I fundamentally don't like the message because it's, as you're pointing out here, it's definitely QAnon shit. It's a toxic message because of where our country is. So yeah, I think you're dead on. Tom, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, judging by the excerpts that we've read, it appears to be about a false flag attack on American soldiers designed to get a Hillary Clinton analog in the White House.
Yeah, right. So,
and the only way to stop it is for this Navy SEAL to kill all of them.
Yeah. So when people say like
it's whatever, it's like every action movie, but it has this additional layer of grossness now with like you guys were saying, with the state of the country right now and how it's clearly this oft repeated violent fantasy that a lot of QAnon conspiracy theorists have. It's just very obviously wish fulfillment in a gross way. It's a specific fantasy that's gross right now. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. When people ask that, like, oh, why do some people suddenly don't like Chris Pratt? Like I've seen that where it's like, what's with all the fucking hate against Chris Pratt? It's stuff like this, where it's like he's in a lot of like family friendly shit or but he every now and then it's something like this that's like really gross. Aside from a lot of the personal life stuff, it's just clearly he's like, he's a little John Voighty, which means like, I'll still watch Anaconda, but I'm very weary of him. for shit like this. So like, I think when Chris Pratt shows up in something, it's worth being like, I'm gonna look into that because it is a red flag.
He supports a church that supports conversion therapy and hasn't denounced that at all.
Right.
Hasn't said anything about it at all. So it's like, the suspicion is not coming out of nowhere. It's not simply because Chris Pratt
is religious
is an outspoken Christian, or an outspoken conservative in a lot of ways. It's not that. It's a couple of specific things that are like, that's alarming in a way.
Right. And again, it's like conservative like themes in movies. It's like, that's fine. But if we're defining that as a QAnon conspiracy to put in Hillary Clinton as president, that's when it's like, this is something else. Or at least it should be.
That's just what I've pieced together from the stuff we've quickly read in preparation for this show. So I don't know that that's actually what I don't know that that's what the story is 100% about, but man,
it's given off those vibes.
It's given off real uncomfortable vibes that are just, I don't know.
And like, only other thing is like, from just how the trailer plays, it seems like they are using PTSD as kind of a toy or kind of a just like fun way to add a sci-fi layer to what they're doing. And I don't love that from an artist who doesn't take it like seriously. Like Slaughterhouse 5 takes it seriously, but this seems to just be like using it as a way to like make Chris Pratt's character brain foggy until he figures out the QAnon conspiracy later. That's not okay.
And that's also a terrible message for people with PTSD.
Well, and the guy who wrote it's a veteran, so it's like, there is a you do question the responsibility of making a story about a soldier who comes home with what everyone is telling him is PTSD, and he has to ignore all of that and be like, no, I'm actually seeing this conspiracy that I have to murder my way to the top to solve it.
Yeah.
A little irresponsible. Especially after like everything that happened with like Chris Kyle, for instance.
Yeah. No, it is wildly irresponsible. And again, we're probably we are assuming a lot of this. Mm-hmm. It's just like the writer, just 5 appearances on Tucker Carlson. As far as I'm concerned, that is enough for me. Where it's like, you're willingly going on Tucker Carlson.
I'm never watching or reading anything you create if you've been on Tucker Carlson 5 times.
5 times.
Like voluntarily and not to like yell at him? Nope.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. In 2022.
Yeah.
So it's like,
all right,
you knew.
Fuck this show. Yeah. We can move on.
Yeah. Fuck the show. Let's talk about this next thing, because this is interesting. Vengeance.
Which one was this?
written and directed and starring BJ Novak.
Right. Okay. Yeah. This one. Yeah.
Now, see, a real hero for a film is a podcaster, and what I think is that that should be more movies.
I love, because this feels like it's kind of playing off of S-Town, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Where and BJ Novak, it's kind of perfect because I don't know anything about BJ Novak as a human being, but like this is a very like, it feels like a very funny, self-aware kind of rib at this culture, which is like city people doing these podcasts about a small town person, because that's the idea. Is it's a guy who says there's a conspiracy in my town, and he goes there to like do a condescending podcast about the person. And it turns out, no, there's a conspiracy. And that's very funny.
I mean, that's literally what happened with S-Town.
Right.
It was like the S-Town guy seemed like a crackpot, and then when they get there and start looking into it, you're like, oh, no, shit, no, it really does seem like there is something here.
Right. But of course, S-Town, without spoiling it, takes a sharp turn.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this is... I like the initial premise, too, which is his BJ Novak's ex-girlfriend dies, and he and he learns that like it was like for him like not a really relationship, and then he learns that she was like talking about him all the time, and the family wants to meet him, and it's like apparently she really played up the relationship, and he didn't realize, so everybody assumes they were really close. I don't know.
Yeah.
It looks fun, right? What do you guys think?
Yeah, that wrinkle's really well chosen, because otherwise he's more of a predatory character, just like stealing this town's stories and things. Like that makes it more of a human, interesting story for sure.
I think if it didn't have that aspect, I wouldn't be interested in it, because it would just seem like it's the thing that it is purporting to make fun of. You know, this sort of condescending idea of like, oh, let's go make an expose podcast series about these weirdos living in the country, and it's like, fuck you. What do you think? Like treat them like curiosities, almost like they're going to the zoo. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So there is something.
No,
if it didn't have that initial, if it didn't tell us right off the bat that BJ Novak's character is kind of a scumbag, I would be kind of leery of this trailer.
Yeah, I think he's absolutely going to be not a good guy, and I think that's going to be part of the point.
They make it pretty clear in the trailer, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he wrote The Office, and he wrote for the character
wrote
Ryan.
himself to be a dipshit, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's something BJ Novak enjoys doing.
I just wanted to, I would have been, hearing the premise on paper, I would have been concerned that the satire is pointing in the wrong direction, if you know what I mean.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But it seems like it's correctly pointing at itself, or this idea. So it's taken a few shots at like, Texan culture too, but of course.
It's one of those things that's like, this is either going to be too oblivious in one way or the other, or it's going to be really well done. It's hard to tell from this trailer, but from what I've seen in this trailer, it looks compelling,
Yeah, it's down to execution for sure. So
yeah,
hopefully.
And it's got Ashton Kutcher in there, Steve Jobs himself. Mm-hmm. Which I point that out because I click on his IMDb, and his official photo is him as Steve Jobs.
Yep.
Oh,
because he looks so smart, Dave. He looks so smart when he's playing Steve Jobs.
Yeah, he does. Wicked smart.
Yeah. I guess I got nothing against Ashton. I'm fine seeing him play a potentially villainous bozo in this movie.
Doesn't he do a lot of work for like trafficking stuff?
I honestly don't know. I don't know anything about him.
Am I thinking of the right guy? He's the one who's married to Mila Kunis, right?
I know his marriage. That's all I know.
Yeah, yep. I think they do a lot of good work there. Like all of these guys, cool. I don't know. I don't know their lives. I don't know why I would know their lives, but this looks. I don't know. This looks like fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what else looks like fun, Dave? This next trailer.
Oh my God. Okay, so this next trailer is Beast with Idris Elba.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see this. I am rooting for the lion.
Oh, really? It's like Ghost in the. It looks like a modern day Ghost in the Darkness. Basically, it's real quick just for the listeners. It's Idris Elba taking his wife and daughter on a vacation to Africa to meet up with his buddy Sharlto Copley. Which right there, if that's the foundation of your vacation, you got to expect some chaos.
Yeah, and Copley is going to die, right? How could he not?
It seems like it, but they keep showing. They showed scenes in the movie. Like the initial thing is they're out driving, to look at some animals with Copley, and then he and Idris get out of the truck, and then something happens, and Idris runs back into the truck, and the lion's attacking the truck. So you're like, oh, okay, this must be where Copley gets iced. But you see him later in that scene and like throughout the trailer, so it's hard to tell. But you would assume he would definitely, because that's the whole point. It's like Quint getting killed in Jaws, then Brody, who doesn't know what he's doing on the water, has to take over. And that seems to be like the similar dynamic that they're setting up in this movie. Is Idris he doesn't really know, he's just like a city person. He doesn't know what to do about a fucking lion. And now they're stuck
is he
in
a city
situation.
person?
It seems like it seems like he's in over his head.
He is. He seems to be a widower, and they talk about the mom, and like he clearly went with the mom there before because he doesn't think where
Right,
it's like,
she was a photographer. That's right. Like his like widow was like a nature photographer or something. That's true. But it does still seem like they're leaning on the idea that he's in over his head. He's out of his element.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with a lot of movies, it'll either be really reminding me of something else in a bad way or really reminding me of something else in a good way. And this just seems like Jaws with a lion in a good way. Like, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I'd watch it. Sure.
Oh, yeah. It looks like a lot of fun. I'm just saying I'm still rooting for the lion because, like, imagine if, a family came into your house.
That's true.
And then you were, like, trying to get them out, and they're like, oh, man, we got to kill this guy. But it's just like, it's the lion's house. I don't know.
That's true. I have a powerful rejoinder for you, Dave. If you guys noticed in the final few frames of this trailer, Idris Elba punches the lion in the face.
I did notice that. Yeah.
That's so good. That's so good.
How you can root against Idris in this situation.
I'm sorry. Look, I want it to end like The Matrix. I want it to be a truce.
That's true. I will say, I stood up when I saw the end of this trailer. I was like, fuck yeah, beat his ass!
It's like a couple frames
Punch
where
that
he punches
lion!
that line. Yeah. No, it's same with Ghost in the Darkness where I'm like, I don't know, stay out of the lion's fucking house.
Yeah.
They're lions. Like, you came here. Like Jaws, that motherfucker kept showing up in like, the neutral zone between shark and man.
Right,
and it's like,
coastlines.
Our kids, like, we're going to go out there and get you. But like this lion, he's minding his own business.
They should have really done a Red Dragon twist at the end of Jaws, where Brody comes home and the shark is fucking there.
That would have been so good.
Yeah.
You coming to my house? Well, here I am.
Shark's just at his house
with a couple of dudes, not other sharks, but like dudes from like Boston.
Henchmen he's hired.
Yeah. Oh shit!
So Beast.
Yeah, I mean, cool. I am into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, some people might complain. I'm glad this is 100% CGI lion. Don't need to bring a real lion into this.
Yeah, just we keep talking about Jaws. There's a couple of shots of a real shark, but that's all. The rest of it's just a weird robot in that movie. Like,
right?
Why are we gonna put an animal through this?
They did lightly torment a shark. I'm sure you know this, Tom.
Yeah.
To get the Richard Dreyfuss in the cage shots, they put a little person in a cage next to a great white shark. The shark then got caught in the cage, and they wrote it into the movie because it was such dramatic.
Footage.
Like such a dramatic footage, and the shark got out and it was fine. But they lightly annoyed a shark.
Yeah, I'm just saying you can still make a classic movie without
absolutely
harassing an animal.
Yeah. This is the director of Two Guns. Remember Two Guns?
I do.
No, I don't.
The Mark Wahlberg, Denzel Washington team up that set the box office on fire back in 2013, I think.
He also did The Deep, which not anything we know called The Deep. Isn't there a movie called The Deep?
You just told me there is. What the fuck
Director
kind of
of
sorcery
Everest.
is this, Dave?
Everest. Director of Everest with Jason Clarke.
Oh.
If that helps.
I mean...
Wow.
Now there's a movie.
All the
make
titles
Jason
of this
Clarke fight a
person's
lion.
movies are just brief and dangerous.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Beast. Oh shit,
His
Two
name
Guns.
is-
Look out. Oh, yeah. Fun.
His
There
name
are
is
words
Balt-
that imply peril. And occasionally a number.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a beast. Oh, shit. Two beasts. Oh, fuck.
His name is Baltazar Kormakor? I'm fucking up that last name.
No, it's not.
He's from Iceland.
Impossible.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
He looks like a cool guy.
Yeah.
Like, just looking at him, I'm like, I'd hang out with this guy, with Baltazar. All right.
I think the ultimate lesson here is to don't go on a destination vacation with Charlton Copley.
Of course not.
He's not
Yeah,
going
why would
he's
you?
not going to take you anyplace safe.
Yeah. Speaking of battling nature, the next trailer is for Man vs. Bee.
Oh, yes. And our
This
B
is-
our B references at the beginning come full circle.
Yep. So I just learned something extremely disturbing about this. and maybe you guys already knew. So this looks like Mouse Hunt, right?
Yeah, with a B.
Right.
It's a B, so it's different.
Yeah.
Which is, I watched it and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that could work for a movie. This is a series.
That's too much. That's too long.
Yeah.
No.
That's too
What?
long.
There's multiple episodes of this?
It
That
says
doesn't make sense.
TV
That
series.
is, I refuse to believe that's true.
Okay. Now I'm not excited. When I thought it
you
was a
go on-
90-minute movie on Netflix, I was like making
Yeah.
plans to see it.
Okay, so this is okay.
Wow,
Hold on.
okay.
Hold on. I'm so confused. Hold on. It says TV series 10 minutes.
Was this a Quibi situation?
I don't know what I'm looking at anymore.
It's a Quibi refugee who
Was it a Quib sitch?
I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on.
I don't know.
Also, hold on. What's happening? Am I having a stroke? The description says, Man B is an ordinary homeless man looking for work. So does that mean his
I'm
name
sorry,
is Man
his
B?
name is Man B?
What's
Okay.
going on? Are we dead?
I think we've died.
Here's what I'm learning. Whoever made this trailer is a genius. Because the
Yes.
trailer
Yeah.
looked really, really fun and like a movie, and everything you've said since then sounds bad. So I don't know what to do. It still is hopefully cool because I like Rowan Atkinson, and it seems like fun and silly.
Every additional bit of knowledge you drop on us is terrible.
Yeah,
It's the director of Johnny English Strikes Again.
Sure.
Yeah, it's listed as TV series short. I just don't know what to do anymore. Jesus Christ. And then it says Rowan Atkinson wrote a number of unknown episodes. They're doing episode. So is it a series? Is it like a movie that they split up into a series of 10-minute shorts or something? What's happening?
It's a Quibi. It's a Quib sitch. I'm telling you.
Maybe it was made for Quibi, and then they were like, shit, what are we going to do with this?
Maybe
Okay,
Rowan
this
was
is-
just bored during lockdown.
yeah. There's a Deadline article says it is 9 episodes of between 10 and 20 minutes.
Okay.
That doesn't make any sense for this.
Just make a movie.
That's
I
madness.
think it's a movie split up.
That's madness.
Yeah,
It's
It
the
should just be like
madness of
a-
one man fighting a bee.
Yeah.
yeah.
Which, how hard could that be? I said B. But like, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm gonna watch this, I guess. I don't know. What do we do?
I mean, the only other option is not watch it, and that's just not feasible to me.
Right. It's
Yeah.
how could we
How
not
could
watch
I not
this?
watch this?
Because
It's like-
here's what I was most excited about. It seems like you're combining the physical comedy of Rowan Atkinson in Mr. Bean with like the getting mad about stuff of Rowan Atkinson in Blackadder, right? So that would be really exciting.
Right.
But everything I've learned is confusing, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what to think, except that I think we're required by law to watch it. All right, should we move on?
Yeah.
What do we
I'm
do?
lost.
Should we stop the show? All right. Okay. Well, we can't because the final trailer is, which this came out like last Friday, right when our last episode came out. 3,000 Years of Longing, directed by George Miller.
Yep.
This is based on a short story about a djinn. As you can tell from the trailer, it's a lady finds a djinn. That's Idris Elba.
Yeah, until the Swinton.
A giant Idris Elba,
Yeah.
not fighting a lion in this one.
No, he could. He's so large, Dave. He's so big in this.
Right, and she sort of does the thing we'd all probably do, which is like, wait a second. There's literally never been a story where this works out, except for one, and that was Aladdin. So, what's your game? And that seems to be it. It seems to follow the history of the djinn as well.
Yeah,
From what I can
a lot
tell.
Of the trailer looks like a lot of flashbacks and a lot of real trippy magic visuals. Obviously, because he's a genie, he can kind of warp reality however he sees fit. Yeah, it looks. I mean, I've been excited about this since I first heard about it. it looks great. I mean, I'm into any George Miller movie.
Yeah.
So just happy to see that. And the initial reviews I've heard from people who have seen it is that it's undeniably a film directed by the same guy who made Babe Pig in the City.
Oh, that's amazing.
Great.
So,
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, if he wanted to do this story when he can kind of do any story at the moment, as I understand it, it's probably great. Yeah, it's probably really good.
Yeah, because he's doing Furiosa after this, and then Mad Max: The Wasteland, which is announced. George Miller is living the dream, right?
Honestly, yeah, because Fury Road came out 7 damned years ago. And when that came out is when he sort of, like, as soon as that movie hit, it was basically like Alex was just saying, you can make anything you want right now.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to wait 7 years and make a genie movie about giant Idris Elba.
Cool, yeah.
And it's not, this isn't unusual. I mean, he's made...
Yeah, he's always made.
The Witches of Eastwick.
Yeah.
Like, he's done really... He's all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
All over the place. Lorenzo's Oil. Like, what the fuck?
And
so
Happy
it's like
Feet
this
and stuff.
combination...
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's mostly a combination of children's films and Mad Max films. And this is just... I'm glad he's not exclusively doing those two things. Although I do want a third Babe.
A third Happy Feet.
Yeah, I'd rather have a third Babe.
Yeah.
Let's get James Cromwell back in it. Let's do it. Didn't they like for? What's that?
Oh, you said James Cromwell? Didn't he like glue himself to a table as a protest or something? I heard that.
Sure.
Yeah, he sure did.
Alex.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, good.
Yeah, Cromwell. He follows me on Twitter.
Yeah, he does.
And I don't know why.
Oh,
It's because you did the Cromwell
yeah.
segment on him, you know.
Probably, right? Yeah. And remember how they sort of write him out of Pig in the City? Like, doesn't he get into an accident?
Yeah,
and it's like
he falls
bookended?
down the fucking well.
Yeah. See, I want Babe 3, and I want them to spend that Cromwell money and you know, give us the Babe 3 we deserve, is what I'm saying.
Also, he's super
put him
tall.
in
He would just
space.
get out of a well. That doesn't make any sense.
Right. He would simply step out of the well.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie looks out of control.
Yeah, it looks great. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah,
awesome.
I don't even... Yeah, fucking Idris Elba. I want him in a Mad Max now. I want him in
it
every
might
George
happen.
Miller. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It really
that seems
might.
plausible this way. Yeah.
Yeah. But this is... Man, this looks like a lot of fun. I don't know what it's going to be. I just know that I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I don't need the trailer doesn't give you too much outside of the basic story of Tilda Swinton's found this genie and he's telling her a bit about himself, I guess, or showing her flashbacks. There's not much details revealed in it. It's like mostly purely visual and just the concept of what the movie is and who's making it, and that is more than enough for me to be 100% on board.
This comes out in August. I need it to come out tomorrow. Like, that's what I want, right?
I
Is
need to
for
be
them
watching
like,
it
by
right
the way,
now. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need to know anymore. Well, shucks. We're on to news stories.
Oh, well, we should probably thanks to producers first, though.
Yeah, all right. Big thank you to Chester's Prophet.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Definitely Not
Thank
Guillermo
you.
del Toro. Thank you to Brian, who Tom knows.
I sure do.
Thank you to Bob Grenville.
Thank you.
Thank you to Steven.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Han Toomey, the confused cyborg.
Thank you.
Thank you to Asking Seven.
Thank you.
Thank you to Happy Ed 209. 209.
Thank you so much. All right, let me take over here. Thank you to Tiger George Pratt Thompson. Raindrops keep falling on my head.
Beautiful.
Thank you to Dan Hackroyd. Thank you to
you.
Manischewitz Maltov says economic. Thank you to Manischewitz Maltov says economic solidarity is the path to paradise, comrades.
Thank you.
Thank you to E.T. and the Extravagant Terresticle. Thank you to Cody Johnston's Time Machine Noise. Thank you to Pete Vorpagel.
Thank you.
Thank you to Glitterous, CFO of Michael Shannon's Chocolate Factory.
Thank you.
And thank you to pre-order Jason Pargin's new book. Pre-orders are super important.
Thank you. Before we get to the ones written, new season of True Detective with Jodie Foster Thomas, you told me Tigers Are Not Afraid director.
Yes, the writer-director Tigers Are Not Afraid is...
that is overwhelmingly awesome.
Let me make sure I get her name correct.
Yeah.
Issa Lopez.
Issa Lopez. That is so fucking exciting. Alex, did you watch any True Detective?
I remember I watched the first season, and I think I liked it less than other people, but it was pretty cool. And then the second season, I liked a little more than other people, but still not very much. And then I stopped.
That's fine. I like them all. Jodie Foster in A True Detective is just like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, that would work.
She's,
The tone of Tigers Are Not Afraid, like the tone and theme of that is like a perfect fit for the tone and theme of True Detective too. So
yeah, I want every scene for her to be thwarted by someone turning off the lights with
with night vision goggles.
With night vision goggles. It just keeps happening on
Man,
her.
if James Gumb, if
he shows
up in this.
Yeah, that would be incredible.
If Ted Levine just is randomly in a cameo in the show,
it is so good. She's so good.
Great big fat version.
Her just like for fuck's sake.
Oh, God damn it.
But other news,
it's like how 3,000 Years of Longing. It seems like there's a character who's read Genie stories at a Genie story, like just throughout True Detective with Jodie Foster. She's like, I don't know, I've just seen Silence of the Lambs like 100 times. I'm really familiar with the material, so this reminds me of that again.
Yeah, I know all the tricks.
Yeah,
I'm
just a big fan of it as a person. I'm not the person from it.
I know you've got night vision goggles somewhere in this house.
Yeah.
Other stories, they're making a live action Speed Racer series from J.J. Abrams, which I don't know, man. I just don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think, yeah, the Wachowskis is as good as a live action version of Speed Racer as you're going to get. And boy, that movie doesn't really work. So I don't know.
Yeah. I'm also seeing... Sorry, there's another story that he might be getting fired from Warner Brothers.
I was about to bring that up.
That is... So...
Wait.
He's...
J.J. Abrams?
Abrams has one of those, which they don't do very much anymore for obvious reasons, has one of those nice, lucrative overall deals, I believe, with Warner, and he's just not making anything. Like, what was the last J.J. Abrams movie you can think of?
Right. I guess Rise of Skywalker.
Right, like he's not like he's had his name attached to some other things like Lovecraft Country. I think he was attached to.
Everybody knows my view of J.J. Abrams as a storyteller. I'm starting to wonder if he's one of those guys who's like middle management, where it's like the jump to conclusions guy, where they realize like, oh, you just stick your name on things and you don't actually do anything. I don't know. That's a cynical view, but I mean,
like his last original property was Super 8. Like that was his last like original project that he did.
Right. So I get a feeling like he doesn't add much to it. And Warner Brothers just merged with Discovery.
Right.
And there seems to be like someone's Mary Poppinsing them, like, because they're dropping a lot of stuff. They're saying like, we're not going to do another Fantastic Beasts. So like clearly someone was like, oh, and what's this guy doing? And nobody had an answer. And they're like, okay, let's drop him. Like,
yeah, the issue is it's this huge investment and they've not seen any return on it. Like conversely, like Ryan Murphy and Shonda Rhimes both got huge deals at Netflix, and Ryan Murphy's cranked out a lot that has been fine to not great. Shonda Rhimes, I think it's just on Bridgerton, but Bridgerton's like the hugest thing on Netflix. So it's like,
so they're like, you're doing great.
Yeah. So it's like you can see like two other people who got like the same, if not very similar deals and have produced things. And J.J. Abrams hasn't done anything with all this money. So I can see, like a new person coming in and looking at the books and being like, why are we giving this guy $250 million? What's he doing? Like,
Right.
that's a lot of money we're giving this guy.
What's he doing? Like, well, he has really good weed. And it's like, all right, let's get rid of him.
Or however much money it was. But yeah, there's a lot of this going on at Warner Brothers, and I don't know that a live-action Speed Racer series is the answer.
Maybe this is like what he just threw out because they're like, listen,
like
we're looking at your contract.
Like panicking in the room.
Yeah, he had just watched the Wachowski one last night. I don't know, man.
And I know it's TV, but like Shonda Rhimes and Ryan Murphy are making like new stuff, right? Like this would just be the Speed Racer property, and J.J. Abrams says he can like sprinkle whatever dust he has on it or something. But like Shonda Rhimes made like that Anna Delvey show and Bridgerton, and like came up with stuff. You know, it's cool.
Yeah, and that is clearly the issue with J.J. Abrams. Is like whenever someone's like, all right, make a movie, it's Star Wars. It's the new Star Wars that everybody hated. Yeah. And then he's like, what if we made a live action Speed Racer? And it's like, great, we could have designed an algorithm to tell us that. Like that
we were already thinking about that.
Yeah. Like you're just saying, what if we remake a thing? And it's like, yeah, no shit, buddy. So yeah, it really doesn't, I don't know. He's obviously way more powerful and has more money than us. But like I have not seen his value
for a guy
as a storyteller in a very long time.
For a guy who 10 years ago everybody was ringing the bell that he was the next Spielberg, boy, he hasn't produced much.
Yeah. And it doesn't feel like I haven't heard any stories of things he has produced where they're like, yeah, JJ was the idea man. He was the person doing all the stuff. You know, like it's just I'm not seeing it.
Yep.
And good
Mike
for him.
Myers
Getting paid, making money. Excellent.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah.
Mike Myers said he would do a Shrek movie every year. Alex, you pointed some stuff out here.
Yeah, there's because the story here, like, you know, it's from Variety, and I think the headline is Mike Myers Shrek is a quote dramatic role, and quote I'd be thrilled to do one Shrek film a year. But then, like, the actual quote in the story is, if I had to do one Shrek a year, I'd be thrilled. Which is way different. That's more saying, like, Shrek is great. I'm not pushing for us to do, like, what Dan Aykroyd wanted to do with Ghostbusters, where it's a whole universe all the time. I just, like, really value that character, and if I was given the task of making him all the time, I'd be pretty happy. Which is way different.
Yeah, honestly,
very chill.
If I was in a Shrek movie every year, I'd be into it, too.
Yeah.
Like, that's not...
Yeah, I feel the same way. Yeah.
I'm sure all of them would be, as much money as that makes. But yeah, this is, we sort of got attuned to this doing Quick Fix It Crack, Dave. As we identified this as a sort of game that they'll play with headlines.
Oh, for sure.
Where somebody will just ask them, would you be interested in ever doing a Shrek sequel? And then his response is, yeah, sure, I'd love to do Shrek. I do Shrek every year. It's really easy. It's great. I love doing it. And then that becomes Mike Myers wants to do a Shrek every year.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So, yeah.
But also...
And they've been, they've been
even
doing
even if he was like, I want to do a Shrek every year, I would say, sure. Let him do a Shrek every year.
Yeah, why not?
Honestly, yeah. Like, who's stopping him? Who's like saying no Shreks? Like, people fucking love Shrek. Like,
yeah. Either ironically or unironically, Shrek gets around. It really doesn't.
Ironic so like, bucks spend the same.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, fuck it. Keeps him out of making the Love Guru. So, you know.
Yeah, I've heard I've heard his new thing, the Pentaveret, is actually not that bad.
Oh wow, yeah,
That's
because nobody, it passed everybody by.
Yeah,
I watched the first episode, and it had some pretty fun jokes. The most fun joke was that Canada is at a lower resolution than the United States. Like life in Canada is lower res, and then when they cross the border, it's sharper. That was pretty fun.
That is pretty fun. I like that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I mean Mike Myers. I know he's a little.
Yeah. Obviously he's a very funny guy and he's very talented. It's just, man, after the Love Guru, which is just
it's not good.
The biggest most racist turd of a movie.
I have not seen that. Yeah.
It is astonishingly bad.
Yeah, it's weird to say he's a man of a different time because that time was the 90s. So it's like he's not like he's not like a racist grandfather, but like I guess what I'm saying is that I feel like Mike Myers his comedy never really evolved, and that's that happens. A lot of comedians that happens, and I know there's going to be an Austin Powers 4, or at least there might be. Wow. He's probably still has some jokes in him, is my point, which is like, yeah, a lot of his stuff got dated. I haven't seen Love Guru either, but boy, did that look racist as hell. Isn't Ben Kingsley in that?
Dave, I've got a shocking piece of information for you that will perfectly explain to everyone listening exactly what kind of film The Love Guru is.
Yeah.
You have seen The Love Guru. We watched it together.
No, I haven't seen The Love Guru.
We watched it at your house.
No.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Jesus Christ, yeah. So my brain protected me from that fact.
It sure did.
I'm looking at the cast. Holy shit. So Ben Kingsley, I think I've seen his scene, which felt very racist, if I recall. But I don't remember it too much. Jessica Alba, Jessica Simpson, Justin Timberlake, John Oliver, Stephen Colbert, Jim Gaffigan, Daniel Tosh, Vernon Troyer, Kanye West. Jesus fucking Christ. All right, I guess we'll have to watch The Love Guru, Tom. So I can forget.
We've done
so
that.
I can forget. Yeah. What were we talking about? Where am I?
We were talking about Mike Myers saying he wants to do a Shrek every year. Listen, that's it. That's the end of the news stories. I feel like we can move on now.
Okay. We'll thank some more producers then. Big thank you to the Midnight Patron with patrons at midnight.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Exploding Runes.
Thank you.
Thank you to Andrew, the proud Satanist.
Hail Satan.
Thank you to Vincent.
Thank
you to Rev MD.
Thank you.
Thank you to Lauren Gucci.
Thank you.
Thank you to Bootler Boodleson.
Thank you.
Thank you to Tux. Thank you to Ricky Cilantro.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Norm from Cheers.
Norm.
Thank you to Space McNulty.
Always. Let me jump in here. Thank you to your mom.
Thank you.
Thank you to Nolan Mayton.
Thank
you to Andrew. Follow Marina on Twitch and Patreon at Heartfist Maguire. Thank you to AJ.
Thank you
to Tip Drizzle.
Thank
you to Burrito Mouth.
Thank
you to the Ghost of Dave Thomas. Thank you to Aaron Burser.
Thank
you to Christopher Robert Sparts, Esquire.
Thank
you to Mackenzie Fuck Shuffling with Willem Dafoe's confusingly large dick, Chill.
Thank you.
Thank you to Funky J.
Thank you.
And thank you to Pie Guy.
Pie Guy.
Dave.
No.
We've arrived at the time of the episode.
I don't want it to end.
At the portion of the episode, Dave. In which I ask you a question.
All right.
And that question is, Dave, have you seen The Love Guru?
No.
Sorry. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. I'm sorry. The question is, do you have a movie that deserves more hype that is not The Love Guru?
Yeah, I guess I do.
Oh, what luck. Alex, I'm so happy you're here to witness this.
Yeah. Although, Alex, I was trying to look for a movie that was a little more your taste, and I don't know. This might be your taste.
Nailed it.
But I know you're not like you don't. As long as I've known you, I've never seen you be like, oh, I love horror movies.
Yeah, I'm glad you found the trailer to James Bond 26. Folks, it's coming. They cast somebody, and it's tomorrow.
But
Timothy
this is a
Dalton
horror movie.
Is back.
Oh, please.
This is called The Passenger, folks. The Passenger. This is a horror comedy from Spain. It's coming out on VOD June 28th. One review called it a near perfect combination of The Faculty meets Shaun of the Dead, which is funny to me because you think they'd say Body Snatchers, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but they chose The Faculty, which is just funny to me because it's a pod person movie. It seems like. Yeah. I've also seen a review comparing it to Sam Raimi, which is always a good thing. It's about apparently in other countries. I was vaguely aware of this. They have services that are like Uber, or Lyft, but for long distances where you can kind of like hire a person with a car to drive you somewhere.
For like a day, like a 6 or 7 hour drive.
Yeah, I guess. And it's pretty common. It's a pretty common thing everywhere but here.
Huh.
And so that's what this is about. It's a bunch of strangers in a van going on one of these trips, and the driver is like kind of a shitty dude. He's like, I guess, very like misogynist and like, a fool. And all the passengers are women, so things don't, go well between them. And then they encounter a woman in the middle of the road, or I think they hit one or something. And it turns out to be, they also find wreckage, and it turns out to basically be pod person aliens, but in this van. The trailer is very stylized. I saw a lot of praising of the cinematography, a lot of wonders. Again, compared to Sam Raimi, and compared to, Shaun of the Dead and all this style, but out of Spain. So it's basically like a horror comedy dealing with pod people in this van on this like road trip where the group have to learn to work together. A lot of practical effects, a lot of goo. I don't know. Looks interesting. What do you guys think?
It did seem like a Sam Raimi type of thing. Yeah, and thank you for seeking something for me. And it does look fun. It seems like a Spanish from Spain horror movie with that wackiness, and like, people are getting eaten and absorbed by aliens, but it's fun. It's a cool thing.
Yeah, it's very like gross effects, right? Gross practical effects.
That's what it looks like. I'm definitely getting the Edgar Wright, Sam Raimi vibe from it. It looks fun. Yeah, I'm into it.
Yeah, I'm into it. It's hard because a lot of the movies from other countries that go with that vibe, sometimes it feels like a pale imitation, but I've also seen a lot of good ones. What's that movie? Grabbers comes to mind. That felt very like Shaun of the Dead. That was the one with the aliens where if you're drunk, they can't attack you or something.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So, yeah. So, like, that's a very fun premise. And I remember that being enjoyable. So, yeah, this looks like it could be very enjoyable. And again, it's called The Passenger. But, like, yeah, it's so far it's getting pretty good reviews. A little mixed. It's at festivals right now. But again, it's in U.S. theaters June 3rd. But I think it's very, like,
it says
limited.
Yeah, you say VOD on June 28th. So later in the month, it'll be on demand.
So that's pretty soon.
Yeah. All right. I can watch The Passenger pretty soon.
Yeah. Not as soon as the new Minecraft update, which they just dropped on us, Tom. It's coming out in like a week and a half.
Oh, man. They just dropped it on you like the Love Guru, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Very excited for that, too. So that's my other plug.
It's the other thing that deserves more hype is the Minecraft
update. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant the Love Guru for a second. I was like, all right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the upgrade. That's the update, actually. They're adding the Love Guru to Minecraft.
Yeah.
At long
no,
last.
they're adding the Warden, which is going to be like a really creepy boss character. Mm-hmm. It's very exciting. And a bunch of new blocks that will make really good new like redstone circuits. So, yeah, everybody look out for that.
Okay.
It's Minecraft.
Okay.
Okay. Google Minecraft.
All right, well, I think that's a sode. We've done it!
Woo!
Woo!
Alex, thank you so much for joining us.
It's always great. And thanks for saying nice... I'm lost for words. Thank you for saying such nice things about my podcast. But just always great to be here. And
thank you so much for being on. Really anytime you want to come on. Absolutely.
Yeah, I genuinely I listen to your podcast all the time when I need like a pick me up. It's
Thanks.
just it's a comforting, nice podcast. So people should check it out. What was that podcast again?
Secretly incredibly fascinating. And then
is there anything
over to Fox Mulder is a Maniac and everything great here. It's really good.
Sure. Anything else you want to tell the world? Anything you want to plug?
Oh, I've been writing monthly columns for 1-900 Hot Dog, and that's been really fun.
Oh,
it's a really good comedy website.
Yeah.
1-900 Hot Dog. Just look it up.
Yeah, look it up. Google that and Minecraft.
Mm-hmm. And the Love Guru.
And the Love Guru.
And hashtag one Shrek a year. Hashtag forever Shrek. Dave, tell
Mike Myers forces Hollywood to do Shrek movies. Craziest framing in the world.
Oh my God!
Oh,
so I
He's just a nice guy. He said he liked the project and would do more of it. That's all he said.
I do like the version where he holds Hollywood
hostage
in like a studio, and he's like, "All right, everybody, call Eddie Murphy. We're doing a Shrek. I want Eddie Murphy here right now." A Shrek under duress. That's what it would be called. I was Tom. You wanted me to plug.
I want you to say some things about our stuff so we can end this episode, Dave.
All right. We have a Patreon. Patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. You go on there, you get exclusive podcasts for just $5 a month, like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Star Trek: The Next Futurama, and Spiel Boys. We watch movies with our patrons every Friday night. That's the night that this episode comes up. You know, you get a Hypecast, and then that night you get to watch movies with us. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And we have a bunch of other podcasts and stuff. So check us out. You should rate us or on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. The end.
We also have a store. Head over to gamefullyunemployed.com where you can find a link to our Teespring store where we have all kinds of cool original artwork and designs you can get on t-shirts, mugs, stickers, posters, all sorts of things. So check that out. And that's it. That's all. That's all you have to do.
Woo! Woo! USA.
All right.
USA.
Say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye. Our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can follow him on Twitter at @thecorlew, Corlew, and find more music at shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our artwork is produced by Justin Brown. You can follow him on Twitter at @JustinTBrown, and find more of his artwork at artnessbyjustinbrown.com and justinbrown.info.